In this video, we will learn how a qualified mortgage protects borrowers, how to identify when you are failing the QM test, and what that means for you. The Qualified Mortgage Test, also known as QM, is a regulation from the CFPB to require lenders to assess a borrower's ability to repay the loan. QM is run on most loans to check for excessive fees, charges, and overall cost of a loan. If this test finds the loan too expensive, it can cause severe delays in closing the loan. Why must a loan pass the QM test to close? The QM test was enacted to protect borrowers from getting into so much debt they cannot pay it back and from being overcharged in points and fees. Because of these protections, QM loans cannot have an excess of costs and fees generally not exceeding 3% of the total amount financed, or have an annual percentage rate, or APR, that exceeds the average prime offer rate, or APOR, by more than 2.25%. The points and fees threshold can differ based on the total amount financed. The threshold can be either a percentage of the total loan amount or an actual dollar amount. Most home loans will finance more than $124,331, which means it will be subject to a 3% points and fees threshold. The general QM rule measures the difference between the annual percentage rate and the average prime offer rate and limits how large that difference can be. Although most costs and fees are charged up front, the APR represents all the loan fees as if they were spread out over the life of the loan. The APOR is the average rate for similar loans in the market, set by the government week to week. The difference in these two rates must be below 2.25%. You must pass both tests for you to pass QM. You will know if your loan is passing the QM test by checking the Summary tab within the loan or by navigating the Document Manager to search for the QM test results. UWM will also inform you by sending you an automatic email. So, costs and fees factor into whether a loan passes QM or not, but not every fee on the loan is included in the test. Let's review what will be included. The QM test includes fees that are paid by the following: fees paid to the lender, like the underwriting fee, discount points, if they're above the bona fide limit, and any portion of compensation that is not covered by credit for the rate. Fees paid to the broker, like origination fees and/or any fees paid directly to your office. Fees paid to the lender or broker affiliates, like the appraisal fee, title company fees, or third-party processing fees. Notice how discount points are only counted in the QM test if they are above the bona fide limit. The bona fide limit is decided based on the difference between par rate and APOR. The closer par rate is to the average prime offer rate, the more discount points you are allowed to exclude from the test as bona fide. If the difference between par rate and APOR is 0 to 1%, you're allowed to exclude up to 2% of your fees from the QM test in bona fide discount points. If it falls between 1 and 2%, you are allowed to exclude up to 1% of your fees from the QM test. And if the difference between par and APOR is over 2%, no discount points can be excluded from the QM test as bona fide. Let's see this in action and revisit the QM breakdown page. Here is your par rate minus the APOR and the difference between them. In this example, there is a difference of 1.266%. That difference is greater than 1% but lower than 2%, so you would be allowed to exclude up to 1% of your fees as bona fide. Knowing how many bona fide discount points you have available will allow you to fix QM fails with confidence. Today we learned how the Qualified Mortgage protects borrowers, how to identify when you are failing the QM test, and what that means for you. In the next QM video, How to Fix a QM Fail, you will learn how to identify the options available to you to reduce the cost of a loan to pass QM test. If you have more questions about qualified mortgages, please reach out to your account executive. Thanks for watching.